Welcome, friends, to the PW Fan. The PW Fan is a podcast created by fans for the fans, and we appreciate you listening to episode 121. God, I can't believe we've done that many so far.
Crazy.
I'm your host, the Architect of Pro Wrestling Podcast, Booker Andy.
I'm also your host, the No Selling Wrestling Indie Fan and football lover, Jeremy.
And our other host, Tim, should be joining us here in a little while, but until then, me and Jeremy are going to start it off. Before we get started, please follow us on all social media platforms at the PW Fan. Give us likes, subscriptions on YouTube, all that good stuff. But today we're going to be talking about Okada debuts in AEW, Logan Paul and the Prime logo, and then Cody and Seth respond to the Bloodlines challenge, and more. So, let's just get right into it. Before I get into the TV shows, I was just talking to Jeremy before we started. 2K24 came out on Friday. I went over to Tim's house and we ended up playing it on PlayStation. Super fun. I haven't actually played a wrestling game in a long time. Tim was usually the one buying these past couple of years, and I was always just busy playing like something else. But this one I actually paid for, one, because Tim doesn't have a PS5, and I thought it'd be fun to bring my PlayStation over and play with him when I go over there to hang out. So we had a lot of fun with it so far. You do have to play through the showcase to unlock a lot of the people you might want to play with. Like I told Jeremy, if you want to play with Shawn Michaels from the start, you're going to be playing as bald Shawn Michaels. So
The worst kind.
Yeah, but the showcase is fun. It takes you through WrestleMania matches. And then let's also talk about, before we get into Raw, it was announced this week that Brock Lesnar has been added back to the WWE's roster page on their website.
Why?
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
That's
how
weird
I feel.
timing, isn't it?
Super weird. I mean, I feel like it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
Since, you know,
it's not long enough. I don't know if it ever will be.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah.
But I think it was Tim. Was it you or Tim that sent it to tell us?
I think Tim did. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I don't know about this. Let me check my sources, and then sure enough,
yeah, you never know with Tim when he sends stuff to us too.
Still can't play as him in the game, and they blurred out Vince McMahon's face. Like,
blurred out Vince's face. Got rid of Brock.
He's in the game because you have to play against him in the showcase.
Yeah,
but you don't get to play.
You can't play as him.
There's so in those games you can people online like make creations. There's so many creations. People really wanted to play as him for some reason. There's a pretty good looking Will Ospreay one, a really good looking MJF one, a bunch of Stings. There's a CM Punk one, but I was like, I'll just wait. He's coming on the DLC.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a DLC? Are you gonna is that like you're gonna have to buy it?
Yeah, I mean, I bought the season pass so that I got all the DLCs that are coming out. But if you didn't want the season pass, you would just buy whichever DLC you wanted, I guess.
That's cool.
And then the other thing before we get into Raw, I don't know which of you listeners, A&E calls it Superstar Sunday, but there's always an episode of Rivals and an episode of Legends Biography back-to-back every Sunday. This is like the 4th season of them. This week was Scott Hall for the Legends. Those episodes are 2 hours long with commercials, which was very good. I was just telling Jeremy that, you might have seen a Scott Hall documentary before, but this has updated interviews with friends and family, including his kids and ex-wife, and the Clique and Hogan. But it also goes into his death and more recent stuff with Scott Hall. So it's super interesting and super just up to date. It was really good. And then the Rivals episodes this week was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and that was really good. So that being said, let's get right into Raw. Raw this past week opened up with Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins starting off the show. Seth Rollins would give. I'm only mentioning this because it came into play on Friday. Seth Rollins gave The Rock a new nickname, which at the time I thought was terrible. I actually do still think it's terrible.
I still
He
think
named
it's
him
horrible.
Diarrhea Dwayne, saying that his all that comes out of his mouth basically is liquid diarrhea with his long-winded promos and childish insults.
As Seth just does a childish insult to him as well.
Cody Rhodes would warn The Rock not to ever talk about his dog.
That's a line for Cody. He can talk about his dad and everything. His dog.
He's
going to
you don't
be
talk about Pharaoh, man. You don't talk about Pharaoh. Cody also hesitated a little bit to call Rollins his friend, but eventually he did. It was a good promo to kick off the show. Rollins said that The Rock, or to The Rock, he said, "I dare you to try," in response to The Rock threatening to take away the World Heavyweight Championship and making it disappear. But I think this was meant to get everyone excited for the Bloodline, including The Rock, being on Smackdown later in the week. It was announced. I don't know if we were. Well, we talked. As we do, we watch Raw while we record on Mondays, and so when certain things happen, sometimes we mention. And I believe when we recorded last, we mentioned how they announced that Gunther's championship will be determined by, or the contender for the tournament.
Yeah.
The contender for the title
Number
will
one
be
contender.
determined in a tournament.
Yeah.
Fucking mouthful, man. So it was announced by Adam Pearce that there was going to be a gauntlet match, which is actually happening tonight as we record.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bronson Reed, JD McDonough, and Chad Gable. Any predictions on that, Jeremy?
I don't know. I kind of thought it was going to be pretty simple, as in like Sami Zayn, because he's probably the biggest name, like babyface name to challenge Gunther. But I don't know. Chad Gable has been getting a push for this gauntlet match. They have a promo video for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's done really well as well. Like, it's done really well. And I don't know. There's something like they're building up for like him at least to be in like the final match. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if he's going to win it, but he'll probably come really close.
Now, unlike AEW, does WWE matches ever come to a draw, like a time limit?
No.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, the last two people in this gauntlet match,
Yeah.
Unless both get counted out or something,
Yeah, unless something like that happens. But like, I don't even remember the last time WWE did anything like that.
I don't know. I feel like Sami Zayn could win. It'd be weird for Sami to go from main eventing night one last year to not being on the card.
What else is he really going to do, though?
I don't know. And then
it's like him and Kevin Owens.
I still think our idea about a ladder match would have been better, but
yeah, I agree. I think a ladder match would have been cool, but like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, are they going to be? What are they doing on the show?
I think Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to be in a triple threat with Logan Paul. That's what I think.
That's true. Yeah, they could be. But even so, like both of them are going to drop down from like the main event of night one to wherever they're going to be on the card.
Well, at least if Sami Zayn goes for this, they're both going for a title. Maybe you have Kevin as the United States Championship on one show, and then Sami as Intercontinental on the other.
That would be pretty cool.
But I don't know.
It would be very much an underdog story for Sami to beat Gunther.
Where's Sheamus?
Sheamus, speaking of Sheamus, he deactivated his Twitter account and everything.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. Do you think he's still going to... He's been kind of like not happy with how he's been used.
It's the only title he needs to become a Grand Slam champ.
Yeah, but like he's not even been booked on a show. I don't remember seeing him the last time on.
Well, he was injured.
Yeah,
and that's why he went away. His last match I remember was against Edge. Edge's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was Edge's last match. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll have to see tonight if it becomes just a singles match at Mania for Gunther's title or multiple men.
Yeah.
Finally, we had Andrade's first match back, singles match back against someone I forgot about, Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I forgot he worked
Last
there.
time, last time I saw him, he had gone back down to NXT and was feuding with Braun Breaker at one point, and then I didn't see anything from him. But
Yeah,
Andrade beat him. I wish the fans reacted better to Andrade.
I was just gonna say that. No
Yeah,
one really cared that Andrade even came out.
Andrade's fucking awesome. I don't understand.
He is.
I feel like
I don't
the
know. Yeah, I
casual
have.
fans maybe don't care. You
Yeah, I was
know,
gonna say that because I'm like, I don't know how people don't get this guy because he just puts on great matches every single time he goes
yeah.
out there
And that's
on
why I
Raw.
think someone like Triple H like knows that, and he's like, all right, well, how can we capitalize on that, on like what he sees
Yeah,
in
I think
Andrade.
also like the issue with Andrade is not the best promo. Like
Well,
given
if
the
they put
promo.
him back with Zelina like they did in NXT,
Yeah. Did you hear that Triple H actually thought Zelina and Andrade were together, like when they were in NXT?
really,
Yeah, he thought they were like a
even though
couple.
Aleister Black was there with them at that same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then the main event of the show was Drew McIntyre defeating Jey Uso. Jimmy would once again show up at ringside to kind of screw over his brother. Solo would also pop up. I guess I should have mentioned this though of why. So Cody runs out after Solo pops up and goes after Solo into the stands, and I guess it's a take off of what he said earlier in the night during the opening segment, which is the Bloodline's not hunting him; he's hunting the Bloodline. So right. So
Mm.
that would
So
be
he's going after
why
them.
he like. I think it was mentioned on commentary, like Cody said he was hunting the Bloodline. So, um, but that would wrap up Raw. Let's get in. Do you have anything to add? Did I forget anything?
No, I think it was pretty good Raw. Um, because we got like how long until Mania now? Less than a
They
month.
announced it tonight. 26 days.
26. I forgot they're gonna do that every single week now.
Yep. 26 days, my dude.
Yep.
So, because today's Monday, so 3 weeks from now would be 21 days, which would be a Monday, and then 5 days after that would be Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
I like when WWE has these longer breaks for a pay per view. Like this is a little bit more than a month to Mania after Elimination Chamber.
I was thinking, I was like, they need to start announcing some matches because right now I don't even know if we have enough for one night.
Yeah, I mean
We
that
might
is true.
just have enough for one night.
Yeah, because it's going to be the tag match, and then Cody Roman,
tag match: Cody Roman, Seth and Drew, Rhea and Becky,
yeah,
Io and Bailey. That's 5.
And then you're going to have someone for Logan and Gunther.
Someone for Logan, someone for Gunther, someone for the tag titles.
Right.
That's 8. Is there
That's usually 8 on one night.
Then comes predictions. Jimmy versus Jay would be 9.
Yeah. AJ
and LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's 10. There's not a lot of maybe Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
I'm gearing towards, so that's 11. But there's not a lot, I feel like, that are like feuds that don't involve a title. I can't think of many.
Yeah, there's not really, other than like AJ and LA Knight, there's not really any big ones.
Like, are they gonna book something eventually for, say, the women's tag titles?
I forgot they still had those.
Yeah, the Kabuki Warriors just defended them on NXT.
Yeah, like I mean, they haven't been like a big part of the show in a bit.
So even with that, that's only 12. I don't know. Is that enough? Most pay-per-views lately have been like 6 matches each.
Yeah, but those are the shorter ones. Are like
6 matches for Mania night just seems like not that much, but
because like Elimination Chamber would probably had around 6, and they did like 2.5 hours basically.
And what the hell's going on with Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley?
I mean, no one really cares, do they?
No one cares, but
Karrion Kross cannot do anything for me to make me invested in his matches.
Have they officially had like the team versus team yet? Did they try and then it failed? Everyone just started brawling. Maybe they do that. Like the 3
Yeah,
versus
there's
3.
there's gonna be something like where it's like an 8-man tag or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
All right. So Dynamite opened up with a like a promo segment that turned into a match eventually, but it was Tony Schiavone interviewing Swerve about losing at Revolution. Swerve's so over, dude.
Yeah. Also, before we go into it too much, the new set and logo for Dynamite, and
I
also
like
the
it.
new intro. Do you like the song?
I think I fast forward because I had to record it.
Well,
What's the
they have a
song?
new song. I think you guys will probably like it. It's definitely like a
It's not
it's a
like the
rock.
fuel, break the mold,
It's not like
dynamite.
that is my favorite one.
I do like the set though, and I like the logo. I think the logo is more.
I think it fits some more.
It doesn't kind of look like the Fight Forever logo.
I was gonna say it looks more like the video game.
Is that the lettering? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it though. I think
But
it
I think
needed a change.
Yeah, the stage looks cool, and they have like the 2 tunnels again, but it's like more modern-ish. So.
Oh yeah.
I think it's cool.
So Swerve would talk about how he's going to keep going after Joe, and Joe would come out, do some trash talking with Swerve, and then the Undisputed Kingdom would come out, and they would talk about Adam Cole would talk about his accomplishments with the group, how we said Roderick Strong was going to win the title and he did. And Wardlow is now going to go for the title and bring it back where it belongs in the Undisputed Kingdom.
I like how when Adam.
God damn it.
It's time to wake up, Andy.
Dude, I swear I thought that I turned it off tonight.
Cool.
Maybe I just thought that I was gonna and I never
you
ended
just
up doing
jumped it.
But this would lead though to a match.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that Adam Cole when he said bring it back to where it belongs, and he pointed to himself, not like the Undisputed team. He like pointed to himself.
Well,
so
back
that's
where it
going to be
belongs.
something.
That means it would have to have been there though the first time. So
yeah, I know.
Been there.
But that's also the thing that Swerve joked about. He's like, "How many times have you lost?"
Didn't MJF do something this week after appearing at an indie event?
Did he?
He like disappeared.
I don't know. I was wondering. I was like, when do you think he's going to come back?
MJF. There was something I saw today. MJF news. Withdrawals from fan convention amid AEW absence. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did. But this segment, though, would lead to a tag match. Strickland and Joe teaming up against the Kingdom. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. And Swerve and Joe would end up winning. So.
Yeah. I'm glad that Hangman's kind of like out of like the picture for now for Swerve.
Mm-hmm. So do you remember last week if we talked about how there's going to be a tournament for the titles, the tag titles? I think we mentioned
I don't think we did because it's kind of just covered Sting.
Or was that this week? No,
they announced that like whenever the match was done, they said it's going to be a tag team tournament for the title.
Or this is yeah, okay. So Adam Copeland will end up returning and challenging Christian to an I Quit match. It's like March 20. What is it? 20.
It's like 2 weeks.
March 20th in Toronto. Yeah. He said we're going to do this or finish it where it all started. So he said he has to win. Cage versus Cope 3.
He has to win this one.
He has to, but I don't know. You never know with the patriarchy around what they're gonna do. There was this Young Bucks segment. I wish Tim was here because I ended up showing him this segment when I was over there. First of all, Young Bucks are super annoying, but yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say that same thing. Probably, I was like, as annoying as I think they are. More.
And you didn't think you could hate them more, man.
They're good to have on the show, and I hate it.
So they had 2 announcements, and it hurt their souls to do. They kicked out Hangman out of the Elite and fined him for putting hands on a referee at Revolution. Yeah. And then Kenny Omega, he's been missing dates for whatever reason. for just no reason at all. So
Yeah, just
he's
fighting
out
a
the
serious
elite.
illness.
Um, and then I'm trying to think like when, because there's 3 AEW shows throughout the week. So sometimes I'm like, when did something happen? When did Darby come out?
That was in Dynamite.
Was that a different part of Dynamite
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Tony Schiavone?
yeah. Because
Just
he
want
was
to make
building
sure.
to the match the following week, and also talking about his Mount Everest trip.
Um, yeah. So I'm trying to remember like.
But like Eddie came out during the Young Bucks segment, and it's
Yeah, so
basically
then
like, "Oh, you're gonna find me."
Eddie Kingston comes out and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna find me." He's like, "Well, let me,
He throws money
basically,
at them.
yeah." Throws money at him. They end up attacking. We hear the coin drop. It's Okada. Okada debuts. Everyone assumes Okada is here to help Eddie. He's not. Okada went heel,
I
and
love his theme song.
Nick Jackson ended up saying, "You're looking at the new elite." So the new elite is Young Bucks and Okada.
It's like
Bunch of
the
guys wearing
corporate elite.
suits. Yeah.
I think
So
that's
Okada
pretty
has
funny.
turned heel, which I don't know. I don't know much of his like past. I don't know if this is the first time he's been heel,
Now
or
he's been heel before, but
I feel like it's been a while though. I feel like everyone's
yeah,
liked him for a long time.
yeah.
Well, what I wanted to say about the Darby thing is like Darby came out and it was just weird because he's like basically said goodbye to the fans just in case he doesn't make it back from Everest.
Yeah, which
He's
is
going to climb
crazy. Like
Everest because
it
there's a
went
real
pretty.
possibility he doesn't come back. There's
There's like
bodies
a pretty
all
good
up and down
chance.
Everest.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance actually, which is kind of scary. But
A guy that like
and
doesn't do
also
this for a living.
yeah, and also the fact that it's Darby, like he'll be like see some like thing, he'll like make a jump on Mount Everest. Which is I don't
So
know, but
I guess this
that
week
got
is
like
his
so
last
serious
match.
really fast.
This week's his last match, or was that so
Next week, so like yeah, this week right now.
against? It's
So
gonna be
big,
against Jay White.
yeah, at Big Business.
And the main event was Will Ospreay defeating Kyle Fletcher. Afterwards, Bryan Danielson would come out, and there was a little stare down with Bryan
Also,
Danielson.
that Osprey and Fletcher match was so good.
Yeah, very very.
I don't think I've seen a bad Osprey match since he's been here.
It's hard. It's hard to have a for Ospreay. I mean, I've never seen a bad Ospreay match, but I'm sure
Yeah,
it exists.
I think it's also
Um,
funny. Like the hardest thing for him, like transitioning to like I guess American TV, is him not swearing,
bruv,
bro.
bruv. Um, so I'm gonna end with SmackDown this week. So I want to go into Collision first, even though it happened the day afterwards.
Yeah.
So speaking of Ospreay and Danielson, Collision opened up with Ospreay and Danielson. No, it opened up with Ospreay, and then Ospreay called out Danielson.
Well, no, Danielson had a match, and then Osprey came out, so it was like reverse.
Oh, because he was like, "You came out and ruined my
Yeah, yeah.
moment, so I'm gonna come out and ruin yours." Um, I mean, there was a lot to talk about, but like the takeaway, we're getting a dream match at the Dynasty pay-per-view, which is Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. This is going to be a fucking crazy
That's been
match.
crazy.
Yeah. It seems like a match though, out of respect, and no one's like seems like the heel or babyface right now.
Yeah, like I feel like it's still like Danielson's still on this like he has a year left basically still, and he just wants to
Proving the
face.
best in the world shit is what
Yeah, he just wants
they
to
were
face
talking about.
everyone.
Yeah, like get it while you can, man.
Yeah.
Pac would end up returning this week after only one video package for him, which I guess was at Revolution, correct?
Yeah.
He returned to help Eddie Kingston and Penta by taking out Okada, so maybe that's Okada's first feud, or Eddie and Penta and Pac are going to team up in a 6-man tag against the Young Bucks and Okada.
Yeah, they said a 6-man tag for this week at Big Business for them.
Okay.
But I think Okada's going to go after Eddie in the title because he kept motioning like the belt motion.
Gotcha.
Which Okada makes sense to have the Continental like to be the next one. He's going to give him a belt that's like makes it mean something.
something. For him to like not have a belt is weird.
Yeah.
Adam Copeland attacks the patriarchy, and he whips out. He comes from the stands. He's wearing a mask. He takes out the patriarchy, and then he grabs this case from under the ring.
That's just kind of weird.
And why is it weird? Because he opens it, and the only person that apparently can see what's inside is Christian, and he tells patriarchy, "We got to go and leave."
But couldn't like the crowd in the front row like see it? You think?
I don't know, because I've never sat front row, so if it's like, I don't know if the
Up on
ring
the
is
ring?
higher than eye level, and so you'd have to be looking down on it, and the camera made sure that you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And what did the case say on it? Spike?
It said something like that, yeah. And I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, that's what's weird when like you don't reveal things to people. You're just like, it could have been a cooler segment, but it becomes a confusing one.
Yeah, and it feels like, I don't know, like Edge and Christian are just confusing the storyline. Like there doesn't need to be this stuff. It's just them two. Like everyone knows it's already going to be good.
Hopefully better than that first one they did. But
yeah.
Cage and Cope 1 sucked. Cage and Cope 2 was good.
Yeah. Hopefully 3 is good.
So Hook would end up coming to Chris Jericho's aid to help him out. They've been like bonding backstage. Jericho wrestled as Lionheart, Chris Jericho this week against. Did I write down? Oh no, I didn't write down who he
It was faced, a CMLL guy.
Yeah, so I guess I had read that for this tag team tournament, it was supposed to be like Sex Gods in it, but with Sammy getting suspended, maybe they're pairing him up with Hook now.
Yeah, I don't think
that's what they're doing. That's what it seems like they're doing. But
yeah.
I only wrote this down because so Angelico, look to me, he was returning. He took out. I haven't seen him forever. He takes out or faces Mystico, and I only wrote this down because I was like, he looks familiar. He's formerly known as Sin Cara.
Yeah.
I was like, that
he wrestled once really before familiar. On AEW.
Did he? Okay.
It was a while ago though.
And then the main event was House of Black versus Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett, who for some reason have all turned babyface now, in a street fight. House of Black would end up winning after putting Mark Briscoe through a flaming table, and it did not go out right away.
Did you see the people complaining about like them like helping Jay Briscoe up afterwards, like to throw him in the ring?
Oh, just fucking like, kill him then. Why don't you, dude?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, leave the guy in the flames. Like, don't I?
Sucks, kayfabe, dude. Sucks, man.
Yeah, I was like, don't let him actually burn.
Idiots.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like he stayed in there. He did not get up right away and he had to have like felt it a little bit.
And then like Malachi like helped him up and like kind of brushed off some flames. I was like, yeah, that's like, you're not trying to like kill the guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's a good thing we did cut, boys, because Tim popped back on, or not back on, but Tim's on with us now
I'm here
to wrap up the show. We're gonna be ending with SmackDown this week, and so let's get right into it. Okay. I said I was going to talk about this in the beginning. So, SmackDown opened up with Logan Paul, and Logan Paul had an announcement to make.
I hated this.
And it blended really well. I will say it blended in with the ring really well when they pulled it.
It sucks.
It did.
They pulled a cover. I hate it too. They pulled a cover off the mat, and underneath the cover was a big ass Prime bottle, the red, white, and blue Prime bottle. And Logan Paul announced that every PLE moving forward is going to have the Prime logo on it, which means me and Tim realized, at Mania we're going to have the look at
dude.
The
you have to have
Prime
the
it better not be at Mania.
At Mania, dude. Please, no.
Why would they announce it before Mania if it wasn't going to be at Mania?
You see everyone doing those Photoshop things with like, it was like moments at Mania or whatever, and it's like the Prime logo underneath it.
Oh my god, dude.
It just ruins it.
So bad, though.
Yeah.
Dude, so KSI gets brought into the ring, and Randy Orton sneaks up eventually and tries to hit Logan Paul with the RKO. He doesn't. Ends up hitting KSI. And then after he hits KSI with an RKO, I know Tim liked this part. KSI's on the ground. Logan Paul's on the outside of the ring. Randy Orton grabs a bottle of Prime and sips it. I think he broke character. He's just like, this is really good.
Here's the thing. It is really good. I will say that. It is delicious.
I've heard the opposite.
Taken back. He was just like, off no mic, he was just like, this is really good.
Dude.
And then he pours it on KSI.
The red, white, and blue, like 4th of July pop
ring?
one. So good, dude. Yeah, the one that's in the ring.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that's awful.
Lot.
Bro, it's amazing.
What about
Is
the
it?
regular?
I'm not a
That looks
supporter. I'm not, but it is when we have them at work. When we have them at work in the fridge, sometimes Cam brings them in, and I'll slam them. It's good.
There's an old episode where Tim talks about enjoying Prime but hating Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
There's an old episode before. All right, we have a Bailey. I say barely. A Bailey interview. Backstage talking about how Dakota Kai turned on her. Then right after that, we have a Damage Control response, and it sounds like this coming Friday we're gonna have Dakota Kai in our first match back against Bailey. First match back from injury.
Yeah.
Then backstage we had a AJ Styles promo. Talking about, people are wondering why I flew halfway across the world to interfere and cost LA Knight the Elimination Chamber. And he talks about how, LA Knight, what do you say? He's under this, underachieving, you know what I'm saying? What do you say?
This segment is riveting.
Undeserving. He said LA Knight was undeserving and he underachieves, and he's not going to let someone get to the top at his expense. And then it showed LA Knight destroying the TV.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for the backup. Thanks for helping me with that.
I wanted to watch you. I was enjoying watching you sink for a second.
Yeah, well,
It was
I wonder
undeserving
if
something
the listeners
else.
enjoy watching me sing, then yeah, keep it up.
Unforgiving. Why am I making you sound like
What's
Trump?
another unword? Yeah.
It was undeserving.
Underappreciated.
Underappreciated. The best.
Here's the finger.
All right. Final segment. This segment was great.
It was good.
I watched
We
it.
watched it together.
Together. Bloodline comes out. The Rock comes out after the Bloodline. Rock's new entrance is fucking chef's kiss.
That was cool.
Fire. The lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Like, God damn. He's like, nah, we're gonna make me look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, all right, dude.
All right, so for between Roman and Rock, how long do you think at WrestleMania the entrances are going to be?
Oh, God, dude, I don't know.
Just between those two.
Hey, look at your TV. This happens every time. As we're talking about the segment is going on the television.
Is it? I thought it's... No, you're behind, Andy.
I am very behind. I just realized.
Yeah,
Well, my TV. It's showing the
your
recap
TV.
from it.
Yeah. But like at WrestleMania, they're gonna have to walk all the way down to the ring, which is a long walk, and The Rock and Roman both walk the slowest.
Seth does too, though, because he does the dancing side to side, like.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be like 20, 30 minutes of entrances for this match.
Me and Tim were talking when we were watching the segment. Roman has never looked so useless.
He really is. Yeah. Even when he starts talking and The Rock doesn't talk, I'm like, just let The Rock talk.
I think he said the least amount. between the 4 guys.
Yeah, even Seth said more than him.
Okay, there's a lot to talk about during this segment, so it's probably going to be out of order for one.
Well, it starts with Roman saying, "Acknowledge us."
He does say, "Acknowledge us." Cody ends up saying, "Let's all take a moment and take this in." Eventually, we get some diarrhea chants. Seth laughs. Cody mouths, "Oh no!" If anyone else caught that besides
made me laugh.
Cody goes, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Oh no.
I guess they weren't expecting that to happen. Seth is laughing because they remembered. The Rock says that he'll do everything in his power not to let Cody finish his story, and he'll take away
the world heavyweight champion.
Tim was like, "Can he do that?
Can he do that?
Is that chill?"
Cody tries to bait the Rock into
Is that trill?
Or Cody tries to bait the Rock by saying, "Don't you have to ask the tribal chief? You acknowledged him last week." Rock kept calling Seth Rollins a walking, talking clown emoji. That's his new favorite thing to say.
Yeah.
For Seth. Seth basically would end up telling him to shut up, called him Mr. Midlife Crisis. He said, so Cody said, "Do you have the authority to issue that challenge? Because I believe last week you acknowledged Roman as your tribal chief." And then that's when The Rock said, "That's what family does."
Yeah. Roman also had a line that wasn't so great when he said cross-dresser to Seth.
Okay, so I pointed that out to Tim too. I was like, oof.
Wrong choice of words there.
Well, he said that, and then I said, I just said, "I don't think that's chill. I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore." But,
no.
Yeah, when it happened, I was like, yeah, I had to rewind. I was like, I said,
like,
is he going to get heat for
could have
this?
said a lot. Yeah, he should have used some other words than that.
Look, Rock likes, or Roman likes saying the N-word on TV. He likes saying,
"You must be living under a rock or something." Whoa! I love that video of those two dudes being like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." Can he say that?
Roman, they're like, "But Roman's black." He's like, "No,
he's not black. He's Samoan." That video is amazing.
Segment ended though. So they accepted the challenge. Segment ended with The Rock saying to Cody, "Is it true that you're one of 3? That your sister was a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
Your sister, Lana Rhodes."
Yeah, the porn star.
I was like, "Where's Rock going with this?"
Porn star?
You said your brother is a Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famer, and he said, "Then you, 20 years later." He's like, you were born 20 years later. That's because you were a mistake. And Cody would end up slapping Rock, and Rock's like, "All right, let him go." He's like, "It's fine. It's fine."
Yeah. The Rock was like about to go over time because I don't know if you saw the other angles of people there, but the crew on the side was telling Rock to like wrap it up. Like, this isn't one of your Instagram videos. You got to wrap it up.
Yeah, dude. Me and Tim did notice that the crowd is becoming more behind The Rock. They just like Rock being around.
Yeah.
This is the most Rock's been around in 20 years.
I know.
I'm loving The Rock being around.
Not really.
And he's entertaining. But you can see the difference of when The Rock comes out and he's on the mic compared to like so many other people right now.
Yeah, it just shames everybody. It just makes it.
Yeah.
That's why the Attitude Era is looked at the way it was, because there was like The Rock and a bunch of other people that could talk that good and look like
that. Exactly.
He's a big boy. You don't realize, like, you see The Rock next to today's wrestlers, and you're like, God damn, he's big.
Yeah, he's gigantic.
So, in my opinion, this hyped up the match a lot, at least for me.
Yeah, this helped a lot.
Tim, I was telling Jeremy, 26 days.
26 days.
Do you think I'll have a man bun by then?
They're going to say on every single show.
We're taking bets. Will I have the bun back in 26
Is it going to be like a full bun, or is it just like a small?
Will I be able to have the Shawn Michaels Elimination Chamber done?
Boy haircut.
I think so.
Then he had a little during SummerSlam. Oh, too. He had the top pulled back.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
And then the sides.
All right, that just sounds like I'm kind of moaning. Didn't really get the point across of the song.
Just a sex Kurt. Sex.
Well, we closing out here, Andy.
You know what? When you sing that song to yourself, you're like, I shouldn't be singing this.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm
Not only
just
that,
a sexy boy.
It is kind of like
I'm not your boy toy.
if you take yourself outside of wrestling and sing that back, it is like the worst entrance music ever.
It is.
I think I'm hot.
I think I'm sexy.
I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around.
Speaking of which,
It sounds creepy when you say it.
an old friend wanted to talk, and I just thought I'd bring him back for one night only. The return of Stu Hart.
We were to shoot him working out in the dungeon. Stu and I waited at the kitchen table until Stu started to get bored, invited me down to the dungeon so he could show me a few holes.
So fucking funny.
He wanted to put me in a rear chin lock where my neck was somewhat crimped.
That's
So
what
we just
Tim
lose Tim. We just lost Tim during that.
Or his neck was somewhat what, Tim?
Oh, Tim's gone.
This is why Stu's not allowed on. He fucks things up.
Yeah, this is why he is never coming back again.
It's just not meant to be. I mean, Tim showed me. It's really fucking funny. I was not expecting
It is.
Jim Ross to do a Stu Hart impersonation.
All right, one
Yeah,
more.
I didn't realize he could do it so good.
All right, one more.
Well.
Just 3, 2, 1.
Was a top wrestler and more famously a promoter and trainer, and his basement was known as the dungeon, where more than one young wrestler learned the painful secrets of Stu's submission holds. Brett was always seemingly late, so the day we were to shoot him working out in the dungeon, Stu and I waited at the kitchen table until Stu started to get bored, invited me down to the dungeon so he could show me a few holes. He wanted to put me in a rear chin lock where my neck was somewhat crimped. Then in his raspy tone that was one of the most imitated in the business, he said, "Now, when you start seeing the spots, that means your brain is being deprived of the oxygen it takes to properly function. Within a matter of moments, you're going to lose consciousness. Some guys also lose control of their bowels and bladder. So as soon as you start to see those spots, you give me the office." "Give you the office?" I asked. "You squeeze my arm when you think you're about to go unconscious," he replied. He said it as matter-of-factly as an electrician describing how to switch on a light bulb. I had this nightmare vision of trying to conduct my interview with Brett after soling myself. So once he put on the hold, I quickly gave him the office. Fortunately, Brett arrived before Stu got the urge to show me a second hold. Brett was less fortunate. So we
that's a few
And
words
that
from
does it,
Stu.
folks.
But I will say the classic show of the week this week, and I know I was late. There is a Nitro from 4/26/1999. Andy and I watched it. Sting versus DDP in the main event.
What a
you got
fucking match.
is a banger, and they're young.
No, it's not the main event.
Or
not
it's
the
like
main event, it's the
mid-show.
second hour.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're young and they're moving, and Sting looks great.
I
And
can't
it's
believe this was a Nitro match. Like, goddamn.
yeah. So watch that for your classic show of the week. Sorry, I missed the first half of the
Just watch
show,
that
but
match.
I
You
will.
don't watch the whole show.
Yeah, just watch the match. That's what I'm saying. When I say classic show, just go fast forward to the match. But this is episode 121. Thank you all so much, and we'll be back with episode 122.